Hi, everyone. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I've been reading and kind of some of my thoughts and feelings with everything that's been going on. So I'm currently reading the Old Testament book of Joshua. And if you haven't read the book of Joshua, I'm just going to give a quick little context behind it. But basically, after the death of Moses, God calls on Joshua to deliver the Israelites. Um, to the promised land. And in chapter 1 itself, God tells Joshua several times to be strong and courageous. Um, I think it's mentioned almost 4 to 5 times in that chapter alone. And one of my favorite verses from the chapter is when God says, "As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you." And when I put myself in Joshua's shoes and what Joshua might have been feeling, I can't help but think he must have been so worried and so unsure and afraid and confused. And I think that a lot of us, our position right now is very similar to that of Joshua's. We're unsure, we're worried, we're afraid, we're confused, we don't know what our future will hold. But ultimately, Joshua trusted in God, and God delivered Joshua to the promised land. He delivered the Israelites, and he fulfilled that promise to Joshua. And when I reflect back on my life, I think that if God can help Joshua with something that's this big, with a magnitude that is so high, why do I even think or even worry that God won't take care of me? Why do I doubt that, X, Y, and Z is not going to work out for me? And so going off of that, apart from Corona, I'm sure that, this season is one that's stressful for so many of us. There's exams and deadlines and projects and summer plans, and a lot of us might have our own, personal trials and tribulations. And I'm sure with Corona, everything is 10 times harder than it would have been. Um, and so for me personally, one of the challenges that I've really been facing is just trying to figure out what it is that I want to do with my life, trying to figure out what path I want to take. And that's one of those things that brings me a lot of worry and confusion and fear. And whenever I have this doubt, I am always reminded of Matthew chapter 6. And this is one of my favorite passages and verses in the Bible. It's Matthew chapter 6, verses 26 to 34. And in the passage, it talks about how the birds of the air and the flowers of the field, um, they never worry. And God always takes care of them. God never fails them. They're always taken care of. And the passage then goes on to say, "Oh, you of little faith, are you not of more value than they?" And this is one of those things that always makes me pause and think, no matter how worried or stressed I might be, this always um, really gives me the chills almost, and like makes me think that, at the end of the day, like, we are made in the image of God. He knows every hair on our head. He knows our every need, our every worry. He knows our plan. And there's no one else in the world, in the universe, who knows us like that, who loves us like that. Um, and even though we're afraid, it's so important, especially now, to cast our worries on God. And I hope that in these trying times, with whatever you might be having going on, with whatever trials and tribulations that you might be facing, um, I hope that you find comfort in knowing that we have a God that knows us, a God who is there for us, a God who knows our plan, and a God who loves us. So I ask that whatever you might be facing, that you cast your worries on God, and that um, you don't let those things get you down, and you have faith in Him. That's all I have for today, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.